Hi, welcome to the Holism video blog, and today I'm going to be taking you through a warm-up sequence for the shoulder joint that's designed to maximize feedback back to the sensory cortex. It's designed to improve range of movement and ultimately boost performance. Now I'm talking about controlled articular rotations. So controlled articular rotations, or CARs are not new, they're well known in the industry. But if we're smart about them, if we're very specific about them, then we can get big results just through a simple exercise. It should look like you're not doing a lot, it should look like you're not working too hard, but really if you're going well, you should be working exceptionally hard, and the metabolic output, the metabolic cost of an exercise like this can be quite high. The reason for that, and the first thing that we need to pay attention to, is we're going to try and build tension. We need to build tension right the way through the body. Okay, and when we're building tension through the body and contracting muscles all the way through the body, there's a huge amount of sensory feedback that travels back up the spine, hits the sensory cortex, and your brain can no longer ignore what is going on in the body. So the brain wants to work with habituated movement patterns. It wants to work with automated movement patterns where it can switch off and not pay attention. When it's doing that, nothing changes. You just stay stuck in the same movement patterns that you've been in for years. If you can get the brain to pay attention and focus on what you're doing, then it starts to calculate, and when it's calculating, it starts to compute, and when it's computing, it will start to attempt to optimize the movement that you're doing. It will start to form new connections around the new ranges that you're gaining. It will clear up the picture that the brain holds of the body, and when it has a clearer picture and it can see what's going on, then it can operate the periphery far more effectively. So it should increase range of movement, but it should also improve strength at end range of movement. So first things first, building tension. Once we get into position, we're going to use a biofeedback tool. Now we're going to use a yoga block that I'll place on my spine to try and make sure that I am really paying attention to cheat strategies. So what you see when you do this is you'll see people attempt to try and rotate through their spine, and they'll attempt to gain range that they think they have that's coming from the shoulder, but realistically it's coming from elsewhere. So we're going to look to try and eliminate other movements and only work purely with the shoulder joint and really force the brain to have to pay attention to it. The consequence is the yoga block falling off. You can have fun with this one, and you can put external consequences or other consequences such as burpees or push-ups or sit-ups, whatever you like. Anything that raises the stakes a little bit will actually make your brain start to pay attention just that little bit more. So first things first, test and then retest, and then we get into the drill. So our test, we're just going to get ourselves down into a hook position. So if I'm down here in hook position, I'm going to take a hold of the back of my hamstring, and then from here I'm going to reach and just do a thoracic rotation. So I'm just going to roll out and pushing my chest. That's about as far as it wants to go. I'm almost at the floor. So I can extend my fingers. I'm probably an inch or so off the floor. So with the test taken care of, we'll now get into position. Place the yoga block onto your spine. Try and center it as best you can. We're then going to grip the mat, grip the floor. So I'm going to grip the floor with my fingers. I'm going to externally rotate the humerus, externally rotate the arms. I'm going to pull the shoulders down, so engage the lats. I'm going to brace the core. I'm going to kick the toes down into the ground. And I'm going to breathe through pursed lips. From here, I'm going to take my left arm and pushing through resistance. So I'm going to take that one up, try and take the bicep right up past the ear, and now I can feel that yoga block wanting to move. As I internally rotate the shoulder, I need to really pay attention to what's happening in my spine. I need to really pay attention to the range of movement that I'm getting through the arm. As I come back up here, I'm going to hit a wall or a block. I need to externally rotate, and then from here I need to retract as much as I can, keep paying attention to what the block is telling you. And from here I'm just going to go through 3 reps. And again, I'm trying to generate tension through that arm and pushing through resistance, and I'm trying to make sure that nothing else is moving. So 2, internally rotate at the top, keep internally rotating all the way around. So the arm is now fully internally rotated. As it comes up as far as it can go in extension, I'm then going to externally rotate, trying to keep the arm straight, retract as far as you can, and back to the start. Now, My thoracic rotation should not have improved too much because I hopefully didn't use it at all. But when I lie back down here, grab a hold of the hamstring again, and then reach, that wrist is on the floor really easily. So I'm pulling that knee down, I can get my elbow down to the floor there now. That's a big change. So hopefully, my sensory cortex knows a heck of a lot more about what's going on through that movement, through that increased range of movement, and that felt really easy to get down. Now, it's not just a stretch, it wasn't a passive stretch, so when you use that one, I should now be able, in theory, I should be able to go out, bench press, push-ups, plyometric exercises, basically do whatever you like. The brain should be able to operate the muscles all around that joint far more effectively and through all ranges that joint travels through. So have fun with it, be as specific as you can with it, be as creative as you can with your consequences, and enjoy the benefits.